Whoops. I just forgot to turn my speakers on. Hi, welcome. Stella here. Let me just start with these beautiful papers that I bought. I got them from Temu. Look at that. I mean, Christmas in lilac, lavender, what would you say? I would go lilac actually. My screen doesn't do it justice. Okay, you get 36 sheets, 3 of each image, and they are 8 1/4 by 5 3/16. Okay, so I'm going to make a landscape album. Okay, so I have got my box board, chipboard, grey board, whatever you want to call it. And we've got 8 1/4 by 6 3/8, back and front. This one I had to add a little bit, it was a bit short, but with that masking tape I use, it is so firm. And then my spine is 2 inches by 6 3/8. Okay, I'm also going to use construction tape or crepe tape in the purple, and I think that looks more like blue, but trust me, it is purple. That's my lighting there. So we're going to use that. And what else are we going to use? Let's start with that for now. So, okay, we are going to join these pieces together, like so. Like so. And we'll start with the spine. Just turn it upside down. Okay, just a couple of inches over the size I want. Okay, I've put it over just about 1/4 of an inch, but I tell you what, it could do it with a bit more. But that's okay. That's okay. I started the wrong side because I'm right-handed. Okay, I've got this little gadget. You've seen me use it before. Another Temu purchase. This is solid metal. That is 1/8 width. So I like to pop that in there. Put it right up against there, and that way I know that I am straight and even. Just gently lift that off. Now when I fold that, I am going to get an easy fold. If you don't want 1/8, if you want just a tight fold, then don't use anything like that. I would use probably just a little bit more than the width of the box board. Now my box board is excuse me, my box board is about 1.8, I think. 1.8, very difficult to see, but that's what it is. So then we pull these ones down and up. And make them long enough so that they're not, the edge is not going to be at the top or bottom. And then we'll just put one little more piece in there. Just grab my little bone folder and we'll just stick those two pieces together down the middle. Okay, now do it backwards. Backwards is good. Same thing. A little bit bigger than, I've probably got about 3.5 inches bigger. There we go. Get my little measuring tool. Once you've buttered them, that should be straight. Okay, and a bit for the middle. Okay, it doesn't matter which side I use for the inside and which I use for the outside. So I'm probably going to use let's use this for the outside. Okay, so I am going to double tape it, and this is purely for extra strength. Okay, I'm going to leave plenty at the top. Round. Pull this over. Bring this right up to the edge of that cut tape, not to the edge of this. Okay, that's giving this piece extra strength for folding and unfolding, constant use. Beautiful. Where did I start? Here. And we'll do the same with this one. Pull that up, pull it up tight. And just bring that down to meet the end of that. be gentle when you're what do you call it? Burnishing. I just thought maybe I had broken it, but I hadn't. Okay, I am going to mark this the outside front and outside back. And you may think, well, if you know the front, then you'll know the back. Not necessarily. You see them upside down. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So we go inside, front, and inside, back. And obviously that's the spine. Okay, now we are going to cover all the edges with tape. And we will start here. You can do one edge at a time. It's the easiest way to do it. In fact, that's what we will do. One edge at a time. So we're cutting it just a 3/8 of an inch over there. Okay, and then we are just going to, let's get some smaller scissors. Just put a nick in there and a nick in there. Let's put those down. Now bring both sides down, smooth them out. Get your bone folder and smooth them all out. Smooth that top bit. You've got a beautiful edge. Oh, there you are. Try and make the edges square if you can. Go to the edge, not quite to the actual edge. I'm about, well actually yeah, we will go right to the very edge and we can trim off if needed. Okay, you can see we're halfway across there. This is a bit longer than the last one, but that's okay, no big deal, doesn't matter. Press it into the edge, press it down, press down. Now let's just make that little snip. You can do a wedge snip if you want, I'm not bothering. I'm just pulling this apart there, just put that piece down. Now with this one, is. It's lovely. You can go all the way across if you're feeling confident. I'm not. How confident are you, Stones? Let's just see. Actually, there's a better way to do this long one. Just get a bit more room. Okay. Put that at the edge. We can trim off what we don't want. Yes. A little fold over here, about an inch. Okay, beautiful. You can see I've just got a little bit of overflow there, so I'm going to trim that. Trim that square, and then I'm just going to take a tiny wedge off of that. You see that down there? Then we're going to fold this one over. Oops. A bit more. And then give that a snip. So if we fold this away, we can just fold that piece down. I like this short piece to go underneath. Okay, pull it over. You sometimes will get little bumps and bubbles, but trust me, once you burnish, they disappear. Like magic, they disappear. This is brilliant stuff. Okay. Just give those just a little burnish. Little burnish in there, and there. And we are looking good. That does look blue, but trust me, it's purple. Okay, we're going to do this one next. I folded that little bit at the top by accident, so I'm going to snip it off. Go to the edge. You can see I've got a little bit of folding there. You can see it's gone. Okay, so this one is just, we're going to go right over to here, take it there. This can be a problem sometimes. Okay, if you want to stay there, that's fine. Got a little overhang there because that's not straight, so I'm going to keep that in so I can trim it. And let's trim that first. Take it off real close to the edge there, and then we're going to cut that little wedge. This one's real straight, not. Let's just give that a straightening up. That's it. And you get your hair out of it. Okay, pull it over tight. Over tight, that's the way. You see we've got some air bubbles, smooth it out, all gone. Some more, smooth it out, all gone, beautiful. Oh, take the cardigan off. So there is our album cover. So I would be choosing whatever I want to put on the front, and obviously the cover is a little bit larger than the actual paper for a reason. So I am going to do a frame around this to take up some of that room. Okay, now we are going to do our hinge piece. I just want to get these trained. That's a good word. Train them. Train them where you want them to go so that folding is easy. Okay, I've done this, but I'm not sure that I'm going to keep this. What I've got is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 hinges here, so that'll give me 8 pages. I've only got 1/8 of an inch between each one. My concern is the page may not lay flat. So that is my concern. What I used for this one was 8 inches by 8 inches by 5 3/4, or not. Yep, 5 3/4 by 8 inches. The only way I can get away with having a loose room is to not join this part to the album so that this is maneuverable. See what I mean? It's maneuverable. So that would mean, let me just put this together just to show you. You can see you've got that gap there, which will allow some movement. But we are going to try a different one. Okay, I'm using Hewlett Packard Color Choice, and this one is 200 GSM. Using that for my hinge, and for my pages I will be using a 250 GSM. But you don't need that 250 for the hinge. So I need to trim this down to 5 3/4. 5 3/4, that's going to be the length. Let's just double check stuff here. So that gives us a really large 1/4 inch. And I don't think we need that much. So let's try this next one, a little bit shorter. I mean, longer stuff. If we make it 6 inches, then that can give us a 1/16 of an inch either side to accommodate the page. Or if we go 5 7/8, and 7/8 gives us a 1/4 inch. We'll go 5 7/8 for this one, okay? Let me just write that down somewhere. 5 7/8. Save that. You never know. Okay, this measures almost 11 3/4. So that one wasn't 8 inches, that was 11 1/2. Okay, let's just try something here. Now I do like to leave an inch, so let's leave an inch. So we'll score it 1 inch there, and let's make a 1/4 of an inch. So we've got this piece, which is there. Then we've got that 1/4 of an inch, which is going to be between the fold in the cover and the start of the page. Okay, now we need to create our mountain, which is where our pocket pages are going to sit on. Okay, now what I want to do is I'll just grab that piece of paper and I'll just show you what I want. We've got the inch, we've got that 1/4 inch. Now I think I want another 1/4 inch, and then a half, and a half, and another 1/4 inch. Okay, let's see what that does. I want a movable hinge. So fold all of those creases. And then I would put some glue there. Okay, so you can see my mountain, and then I've got that little 1/4 inch flexibility. So if my page just goes over this is the way I design, this is the way I do things. My page will go over there and it will almost hit that 1/4 inch line, that 1/4 inch there. So that'd be my page. That will give me plenty of room to maneuver my page because I've got that flexibility in that 1/4 inch that is just sitting there. Can you see what I mean? And that should allow me to be able to open and close my pages without too much trouble, without any stiffness. We'll just put these together and then we'll have just a little bit of a play. So again, it's our page. And it definitely is giving me more flexibility for that. I'm pretty sure that's going to work really nice. Okay, so the basic from here, the basic is going to be, where's my pencil? You're going to, after you've done the initial inch and 1/4 inch, you are going to do a 1/4 inch, then a 1/2 inch, and then another 1/2 inch, and then a 1/4 inch. And that is going to be the hinge part. That is going to be this whole part here. Okay, so let's do that. So we want a 1/4 inch, and then we want a 1/2 inch, and we want another 1/2 inch, and then another 1/4 inch, and we're up to 2 3/4. So from here to here is your hinge, that's your mountain. Okay, now we have to have a valley. And I do like the idea of the 1/8 of an inch in between, but I'm going to go a 1/4. Go a 1/4. So from 2 3/4, and then we go up to 3. That's going to be very confusing, isn't it? so that's our valley. Now we want to do this again, this section again. So we are going to do another quarter, then we're going to do a half, another half, and that last quarter. Okay, and just to mark it, you can always rub it out. And we will need to join on another piece of paper for this. A piece of cardstock, sorry. Okay, now we want our valley, which is a 1/4 inch. Now we want that pattern again. We want a 1/4 inch. And then we want a 1/2 inch, which gets us to 5 1/2. Up to 6, another 1/2 inch. And then our 1/4 inch. So I am going to mark them all. Now a valley, 1/4 inch, which brings us to 6 1/2. Now the start of our pattern again, we want a 1/4 inch. Then we want 1/2 inch. I just count 4 over. Another 1/2 inch, which brings us to 7 3/4. And then a 1/4 inch, which brings us to 8. Okay, there's our valley, and this is our mountain range. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains, and I've got a 2 inch spine. So a 2 inch spine we're going to need maybe 7. I'm just going to bring this over. Let me just fold that one up so I can sit it in the corner here. Okay, that was the last one, was our 1/4 inch for our mountain. Now we need our 1/4 inch for our valley. That one was just a bit tight, I think. Turn that over and just rub that out. Okay, 1/4 inch for our valley. That one I folded, I'm just going to do it again. I did not like that fold, it wasn't sharp. Okay, that's our valley. Now we are going to do our mountains. So we are going to, if you're lucky enough to have a 12 inch scoreboard, you won't have to fiddle like this. We're going to have a 1/2 inch, that's our mountain, and another 1/2 inch, and a 1/4 inch for the bottom of the mountain. Ah, you see I've made a mistake. I put my valley, but I didn't put the bottom of my mountain. So I'm going to rub them out. The way I rub them out, turn it over, and just take my scoring tool and just go over it gently like that, which pushes it back in. Whoops. I think that's all I needed, just those 3. So that's our valley. And then we need the first step of our mountain. And then 1/2 inch, 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 1 and 1/2 inch again, 2, 3, 4, and then the second step of our mountain, a 1/4 inch. Okay, I'm just going to turn that over again, and I see a little bit of fold there that needs rubbed out. So it does pay to mark them. It's our valley, and this is our mountain range. I'm just parking it anywhere. So our mountain range, and we need a valley. And we need the first step of our mountain. So you can see the pattern you've got. Disregard that first one because it's on the edge. You've got 3/4 inches and 2 1/2 inches. 3/4 inches, 2 1/2 inches, and that's the pattern that goes on. Okay, so I've got the first step of my mountain, and now I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need the 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/2 inch. Okay, and then a 1/4 inch. Now I'm just going to do this 1/4 inch, but I am going to trim off this last piece, I think, because it's not quite a 1/4 inch. So we're just going to trim off that last piece. Now we have to join. Okay, so on this one here, I'm going to join. Let's grab another piece of that paper. What did I do with it? Put it back where it belongs. How unusual. Let's see how many mountains we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't need a huge one. So I'm just going to guess and take 5 inches. 5 inches. Say that was 5 7/8, wasn't it? 5 7/8. So the first thing we're going to do to make this easier to put together, we are just going to score 1/4 inch on that, and we're going to join those two together. Okay, let's get some glue. And make sure you don't go over that fold line, that scoring line there. Close to it, but not over it. So let's just do a test. That's our mountain. And that part there is our fold over. See how it works? got our fold over and we've got our 1/4 inch on that joint. You can of course cut this piece shorter so that your joint, excuse me, your joint is up here. That's something for you to work out for yourself. Okay, so we've got, there's our valley. Now we've got another, right up to there, another mountain. Let's just stick this anywhere on here. And I'll just give that a little okay, now we want a valley. We want a 1/4 inch. Now we want the beginning, the first step of the next mountain. So that's a 1/4 inch. Then we want a 1/2 inch. Down the other side of the mountain we want a 1/2 inch. And down those steps we need a 1/4 inch. And let's go another 1/4 inch for a valley. We may need more. Maybe not. Okay, so let's just fold them wherever they go at the moment. It doesn't matter, we can always refold them later. Just fold all of those. Oh well, let's just fold them properly. Okay, right, god damn. Okay, we've folded up the beginning of that 1/4 inch and we folded up the end of that 1/4 inch. Now we're going to fold up that mountain, that 1/2 inch. Fold it over at the beginning of that 1/4 inch and then at the end of that 1/4 inch. So that's going to give you your mountain range with your step at the bottom and your step at the back. Then we've got a valley. That's the mountain. We've got a valley there. It's not easy. And the next one. Good way to make your creases sharper is to score it on both sides. Whip it over and score it again. Okay, we need that 1/4 inch there. Nope, that's our valley and that's our 1/4 inch. Okay, fold that valley piece up. Making sure you're straight, because it'll tell in the end. Folding first at this inside of the 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to fold on the outside, which is our step up to our mountain. And we fold over the little valley. That's our mountain. That's our step to our mountain. And we fold over this valley again, this next valley. Grab that mountain, fold over that, a step up to the mountain, and then pull the mountain up and get to the other side of the step and fold it over. I've done that. Valley and mountain. So we fold that valley up. Grab the mountain. Fold it at the top of the steps first, back and forth, and then grab that step and fold that back and forth, and then you've got that valley to start with. Okay. Now what I like to do is use these clips. I'm sure you've seen me use these. Then I get a nice accurate measurement for my spine. Put the clips right down to the bottom, to the step part, for want of another word. I didn't know what else to call it. And we haven't cut our paper, so if we need more, we don't have to join anything. It is important to grab it right near the fold there. Okay, I'm pressing it that way. And then I'm going to press it that way. Okay, something's wrong there. Oh, it's just my clip, it's not in the right place. not from this line, this score line here, measuring from the inside to the inside. It's still a bit short. Let's have a look. No, it's not short at all. It's fine. That first score line matches that gully there. This last score line should match that gully, or pretty close to it. So now I can trim off what I don't need here. And I'm just going to give that a little score there and trim that off. Okay, we can take all our clips off now. We know exactly what we've got. But I am going to do some more burnishing because you want it crisp. As crisp as vinegar chips. Start here. It's a good thing I've done that because I was just a little bit off. Grab the next one. When you do this, you should be able to see that these spaces here are the same size. You can see down here I'm a little bit off. So turn to the back. Looks alright. We'll just keep going. Sometimes it's just the way you fold. And we are folding those steps in as well. So the only thing you're leaving is the valley. Okay. Okay, you can see there, I'm a little bit slim there. So we're going back to that one. When you do this, hold it really tight with the tips of your fingers or your fingernails before folding it. And that will give you a more accurate fold. And a more accurate crease. Okay, let's have a look and see what the back looks like. Have a look at that. That is, if you can see it, that is pretty good. Pretty good. Start with one and just fold all this up out of the way. Now you can see in between in between each mountain we're going to put glue. So it can be a little confusing, so if you want to mark it all, and that doesn't need glue because that's it there. So what you're putting glue on is 1/2 inch space and 1/4 inch space. Then bring this one over. Burnish it. What have I done wrong? Tell me what I've done wrong. Tell me nothing. I've done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Just looked a little awkward, that's all. Okay. Now we've got our valley. I'm wondering if which is the back and which is the front, to be honest. This is the back. Okay, on the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch, I would suggest marking it all. And don't put anything on that 1/4 inch there. Fold this down. Okay, we've got 2 mountains. Turn it over again. Of course, use tape for this as well. I like the manoeuvrability of the glue, plus it's quicker. Okay, turn it over. See, we're getting there. Turn to the back again. Getting there. Once you have put it down, let's just turn it over and fix it. also going to fold at the steps. And burnish that well as well. Fold it one way and then fold it the other. And that's going to give you that looseness, hopefully. Very strong hinge, this one. I'm burnishing this so hard my shoulder hurts. Fold it backwards. Fold this forward at that 1/4 inch fold. And then fold it backwards. And there we've got our page hinges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is basically what I wanted. And let's have a look at the back. That is pretty good. Pretty even. And pretty good. So, what I'm going to do with this, I am going to use these adhesive sheets. And I could use some cut ones, couldn't I? Look, no, I'm not. I'm going to use the whole sheet. Just inside that pencil line. I always keep my scraps from this. I buy these from Temu. They're just too expensive elsewhere, I'm afraid. And the price of crafting products is just absolutely horrendous, and I don't craft to make money, I craft for enjoyment. So I've got to be canny. going to put some glue on here. You know me, I like to do that. Get some wiggle room there. And do make sure that is as flat as you can make it. I think I probably got a little bit of overhang. No. Maybe just a hair. So I'm going to take a hair off. I can always use glue if I've gone too far, but I don't like that sticky to be over. Swig of water. And this is the one we're going to use. We're not going to use this one. No, that was just too tight. So let me just remove all those clips. I'll do it later. You don't need to see me do that. Okay, just move these around. Now I want to move them. It's pretty close, pretty close. I don't know if you can see, but where this scoring is here, it is pretty level with that one. Top and bottom. That's pretty level. Let's go to the other side, and this one is, yeah, pretty level too. Wow, weren't we lucky? Weren't we lucky? So I'm going to start taking this up at this, where I trimmed off a little bit. I'm going to pull it up there, just a wee bit. And I'm going to add some glue. So that will cover that little bit that didn't get any adhesive tape on. Bit too much glue there, Stars. Okay. I'm pushing the top down first, and then I'm going to maneuver, and I'm gently pulling this the right and the left that way, just to, not to stretch it, but just to make sure it is flat. So I can see the top, see the bottom. I'm just trying to make sure I've got equal amount on the top and the bottom, and it is straight. It looks pretty equal to me. Well, and it moved. It moved. There we go. finishing is good. And we're getting that all stuck down. So it's not going anywhere. No matter how often the album is opened and closed, nothing's going anywhere. And here we go. Beautiful. Look, I might quit for now and come back a little later. Oops. And what I'm going to do first up, let's measure for our pages. Pretty sure I've already done that. Not necessarily. Okay, and we'll just fold that over. You can see we've got that crease there which matches the crease of the cover. Just gently do that. And on the other side. Doesn't have to be flat. As long as it can go like that, that's all you need. Right. So, we'll measure our page. We want not much more than, we probably want the page only at 6 inches. Now, I do leave a gap. You've probably seen this before if you've watched my videos. I do leave a gap between the hinge and the what am I saying? The page. For instance, I might put my page this little bit away from the actual hinge. So you can go 1/16 of an inch, and I think that's what we'll do. So we need, hang on, not necessarily, we don't want to cut too many of these down. So measure this first, because these are probably going straight onto the white pages. This is going to be perfect. They are 5 13/16. So if we've got 6 inches, then we've got a little bit of leeway. We've got 2, 3/16. I'm going to go just a little bit more, and I'm going to go to 6 1/8. So I'm going to go 6 1/8. I'm just going to write this down here. 1/8 by. Let's just look at the length of these. Now I did measure my covers, etc., based on the size of these papers. So it should all marry up. We've got 8 1/4. So to measure the length of our, or the width of our page, we're going to measure from just above that 1/4 inch step we created. You see that? We're going to measure from just above that, because that's where our page is going to sit. So hold that there, and then just lift easy. A bit of manoeuvring. So, how big did I say this was? I said it was 8 1/4. It is too. We're going to have to cut these down a bit. So, measuring up from there. I would take my pages to 7 7/8. 7 7/8. 7 7/8. Okay, we will come back in a minute. I've just got to go and get some water, and I may just return with another video straight up. And I hope you'll keep following with this one. This is going to be just such an awesomely beautiful album. Look at those papers. I'm not quite sure of the thickness of these. They feel like maybe 110 GSM, maybe 100. It doesn't say on the pack. I don't think. No, it doesn't say on the pack. Just tells you basically don't put it on your head. So when I do use these, I am going to be using the sheets because it's a thinner paper than you would normally use. I'm going to use the strength of the adhesive sheets from Temu. I think you get 20 or 25 in a pack, 20 in a pack I think, for $12 Australian. So I find that a good price. And let me just tell you, they're 7 7/8 by 8 1/4. I think it might depend on who you buy them from on Temu. They might be slightly different in size. So this one is slightly different in size. Yeah, this one's 8 1/4 square. Depends who you buy from. Okay, come back soon. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with me. Bye for now. Keep warm in this cold weather we're getting here in Victoria.